Good day guys, today we are doing a full review on the Pickled Steel Thing2. And quite an interesting name. There is a Thing1 and there's a Thing2 and they differ slightly. And we're going to discuss those differences along with some of the other features on this knife, or this multi-tool rather. And I will also be showing some clips where I used it, where I talk about using it, just basic stuff, basic using of the multi-tool, just to show some features and that it does in fact work and is actually, quite a nice experience to work with. So I used it to work on a generator and it worked very, very nicely. I was impressed. I had a good time using this tool. So let's dive in. We have this very nice pouch, can sit on your belt. It's like this soft nylon breathable material, has a Velcro keeping it in place. And then we have some bits here and an extender sort of bit holder, which is magnetic. Very nice. And I've used these also, and I will include a clip of where I did some work with the screwdriver on the multi-tool. So yeah guys, fantastic. Like the different bits, we have some different Phillips heads, flatheads and hex bits here, and they all come neatly packaged in a secure little rubber holder. Very nice. And then we have the Pickled Steel Thing2. Now the Thing1, I'll just include a photo. Okay, so that's sort of the difference. Another difference is one is in looks, and the one is that the Thing1 does not include the bits or the ability to drive bits, right? So yeah, that's the one difference, or two of the main differences. What I like most about this multi-tool, I have to say, is just the color. One thing is for sure, your Leatherman, being very nice, being high quality, is often easy to lose. I have been on so many multi-tool groups, where people said, I lost my Leatherman wave at the beach, I lost my Leatherman wave at this campsite, please, if someone picks it up, it's mine, just no, it's mine, contact me, And the thing is, this is actually a very nice alternative to using your expensive multi-tool at like a campsite at night, or when you go fishing at the beach or at the dam or river or whatever, wherever you're going. Because it can basically do everything that your Leatherman will be able to do in those scenarios. And if you do in fact lose it, it's only going to cost you about like 300, 400 Rand, right? Depending on if you get the one or the two. So if I lose the side clip, if I buy a used side clip, it will cost me 1,200 Rand, right? If we get to a used wave, it's going to be like 1,600, 1,800. So this is a nice thing to have. The other thing is that when you actually are at the campsite, there's low light, there's minimal light. If you put it down, and you only have a torch with you, if you shine the torch, this will instantly reflect that light and you will be able to find your multi-tool again. So that's a fantastic aspect that this thing has to offer, right? So let's discuss some of the tools. I did in fact use the pliers a lot, and they work very, very well. I almost want to say, and I did say this to my fiance earlier, but being a little bit on the thicker side, they are actually providing a little bit more grip than my Leatherman side clip does. And I do know that the other Leatherman, they have a little bit of thicker pliers than the side clip, and this one is nice for getting up into those small little spaces. But this was a breeze to work with, and it's spring loaded or under spring tension, and that's just great. And I really like the grip on this. It provides you with a lot of grip. I think if you're really going to squeeze down on this, it will create a slight hotspot with these little edges. But if you're working with gloves, that is just going to add to the overall grip on this multi-tool. It won't bother you at all. Even right now with my bare hand, it's a slight hotspot, but it's more grippy for me. Maybe someone else would disagree, but for me, it's just adds to the overall feel, and I like it. I like it. You can really push down on this thing and have a great grip. So we have some cutters, obviously not replaceable. You know, this thing coming in at 400 Rand. You're not going to get replaceable cutters because replaceable cutters basically cost you 400 Rand. We have some branding there. Stainless steel, it's in 2CR, highly stainless, but not very durable, very tough. It's not like it's not tough, but it's not like 420 HC, right? Which is on the Leverman. But it will hold you a good long time and be durable enough for basic tasks, which is what you're using your Leverman for, or your multi-tool for rather. Okay, we have some different tools here. Let me just get them out. And I like the free flow construction because that means I can access my tools from either side. Which is interesting on this is that you can keep the pliers closed and still have access to your other tools. Whereas with many of the Leverman, you do need to open up your pliers to actually access the tools and then close it afterwards. So yeah, you don't need to open up your pliers to have access. So we have a wide array of some tools here. We have a ruler here. It's in inches though, and it doubles as a light duty pry bar, also a cross file. And this is very, very nice. So if you want to sharpen your knife in the field, this will work just great. We have a flathead screwdriver, which can also double as a light duty pry bar. We have a very tiny little flathead screwdriver right here. And then we have a full plain blade, which I love. And this was my sort of thing that bothered me on the Leverman Wingman, right? Was that it was half serrated, half blade. And when you have a tiny blade like this, just give me a full plain blade because I'm going to be using that whole edge. I don't want just this little spot right here. And we actually have almost a near mirror finish on this blade, which is quite nice. I think this is a pretty sharp blade right here. Let's look at some of the other tools we have. Now we have a full serrated blade, and that is what I love. I said, either give me a full serrated blade or give me a plain edge blade. And what's nice about these serrations is they are easy to sharpen. They don't have those one big hole or one big gap, two little gaps, one big gap, two little gaps, like you find on some knives. Like you'll see here on the CRKT, we have one big gap, two little gaps, and those little gaps are insanely difficult to sharpen. So I really like the fact that you know, they give you easy access to sharpening this once it goes dull. And that's just amazing, actually. Amazing value for the money, I must say. Then we have what can be used as an awl and a scraper and a package opener right here. We have a screwdriver right here. And we have a screwdriver right here, and we have a sort of a package opener, scraper, can opener, bottle opener. It's lovely. Okay, you can actually tighten stuff with this part right here, and this screwdriver, being a screwdriver, which works amazing as I showed in the video, it also is your attachment point, magnetic attachment point, for your extender and bit holder. So slot in your bits right there. This extender sits quite firmly on there. There is a little bit of play, I must say, but it's not falling out, right? It's not falling out. So there's a little bit of play. Maybe that would be my one little, you know, not problem, but negative. But it's not like it's not falling out at all. So it sits in place. You can use it. It works perfectly, as I showed in the video. It's just a little bit loose, right? But I mean, if it works, it works. It doesn't really matter if it's loose or not. Okay, so the magnets on that is pretty decent. So overall, guys, I think this is an amazing multi-tool. Let's stop talking, guys, and let's get to using this on the generator. Okay, guys, so today we're just gonna check and see. Sorry, I'm a little bit sick, but we're just gonna check and see if I need to take the fuel out of this generator because it needs to go back, and it's still under warranty. But here in South Africa, fuel is like gold, so I'm taking out the fuel so that I can use it next time. And anyway, I don't think it's allowed to travel with fuel inside and stuff like that. So we're gonna see if the Pickled Steel Thing, the Thing2, can help us out today. Obviously, this is not gonna be our only tool, as we need to take out the spark plug also to switch back to the old spark plug. And yeah, we need to take off the tank to drain it. But there are little things down here that needs to be detached. And I think this tool is going to help us to do that. I think I'm probably only going to use the pliers for this job, but it's something. I'm using this now because I want to give my Leverman side clip a break. And yeah, I want to see, you know, what this thing can do. Is it crap quality? Is it good? What is it like, you know? So we'll see what it can do, and afterwards I'll just sort of share my thoughts regarding this. Yeah, so we'll see. I don't know if it's necessary to take off the whole tank. Maybe I'll just try and take out this tube here, and yeah, and then we can just leak out the fluid. I'll see if that works. Okay. I have to say, you do get a very nice grip with the pliers. Right, guys, so yeah, obviously we had to use some ratchets, we had to use some spanners for this job, but what this had to do, it did it very well. There are some little clamps holding down a pipe, the fuel pipe, so you need to release those clamps so you can take the pipe out to take the tank off. And yeah, what else? Oh yeah, I didn't have a 14 spanner here with me. Ooh. My uncle would be very angry at me for not being prepared, but yeah, my leg's still broken. I don't want to run up and down, stuff like that. So I decided to test out these little clamps over here, and they did pretty well. They didn't leave marks on the bolt or anything like that, and I was able to clamp down firmly and to tighten that bolt. I know it's not what you're supposed to do, but it's good to know that, you know, if you don't have a spanner, then at least you can probably go up to about a 16 spanner to clamp down on some bolts or something. Yeah, I think that's about what you'll be able to get out of this. So if you have nothing else, then it will work to clamp down on your bolts and loosen or tighten them. So yeah, I mean, not the way to go, but it works, and that's what we had to test today. So finally I can send back this guy now and yeah, get a return, get another one. These are actually fantastic. I've used some other models. It's also like a OEM design, like many of the pickled steel knives. So Yamaha is using this exact model. I've taken a Yamaha 950 watt generator apart and put it back together, you know, and it's it really is like to the point, exactly the same parts, exactly the same quality, exactly the same thing. It's just the name that's different. I think there's also another company selling this exact model, but it's the same damn thing, guys. It just has a different name, and those all worked fine, and the other Ryobi I had also worked great, but I don't know what happened with this one. Yeah, I was away for a little while and it had to sit, so maybe it just needs to be cleaned, like the carburetor and stuff like that. But it is still under warranty and I don't want to mess too much with that. I know taking out the bolts and stuff does leave marks on the bolts, and so they might say, you know, the warranty is void because you took out the bolts, but I'll just say no, it came loose and I had to tighten them, something like that, because it's ridiculous sometimes, just the stuff that they come up with to not, you know, deliver and not return or replace your item. And obviously I didn't do anything wrong to it. I've been working with these sort of generators even in Africa. Well, I'm in Africa, but I mean in Mozambique, in the bush, and never had a problem. I can probably fix it, but why will I do that if if it's still under warranty and someone else can do it? Yes. Or I can just get a new one. I'll prefer that probably. But okay, guys, have a knife day, and remember that no knife means no life. Yeah, so overall, guys, I think this is an amazing multi-tool. I think it works well. It's you know, clips into place nicely. It's easy to open. It's smooth. You can definitely do it. You know, one-handed. You will be able to sort of manipulate it out with one hand if you only have one hand. Yeah, easy to use one-handed. It's not like the Wave where, you know, the blades sit on the outside and you have that accessibility, but you know, it's good for the money. It's definitely good for the money, and I think everyone should have, every man at least should have a multi-tool, like a Leverman, like an extraordinary quality multi-tool, but then also have something like this, which is fantastic quality. You know, it is in a class of its own. This thing does cost 3 times as much as this. Do I think this thing is worth 3 times as much as this? No, I don't. Okay, I don't think this thing is 3 times better than this thing. I don't think that. What you're getting with it, maybe with the warranty of 25 years and stuff like that, then it sort of becomes accurate. But I think this is a nice thing to have if you don't want to, you know, risk breaking your Leverman, if you don't want to risk losing your expensive multi-tool, or if this is the only thing you can afford, right? Then this is a fantastic option. If you're going to go for a cheaper multi-tool than a Leverman or a Gerber or a SOG, then definitely consider the Pickled Steel thing, right? This is good work. This is a nice multi-tool. I like it. Awesome stuff, guys. Have a knife day, and remember, no knife means no life.